Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. This is DIY with Jeannie and I'm Jeannie. And today we are going to be making heart-shaped pot holder mitts. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they will have these little finger grips at the top for us to put our fingers in to get things out of the oven. So, what do we need for this? Well, we're going to need 2 pieces of this half heart for the fingers, 2 pieces of the lining for the fingers, 1 large in the main fabric and 1 large in the lining fabric. And I started all of this by drawing my own heart. So I drew it on tearaway paper. You can do it on anything. Put 2 pieces of printer paper together and it'll work the same. And then I added the seam allowance in as I cut it. I didn't add the seam allowance in here. So then you're also going to need 2 pieces of the interfacing batting for the finger holds, a piece of the interface batting for the large piece, and a piece of the Instatherm for your hot pad for the heat side. The shiny side goes towards the pan side. So for us, it's going to always be down. It will be below this beautiful floral print. Now, these I did heart shape because I wanted for Valentine's Day. And I wanted a craft for Valentine's Day. So I made this. But I didn't want to use traditional Valentine fabric in case somebody wanted to leave it out. So that is why it is this. I will also be making a small piece to hang it, and I'll show you that as we get to it. The other thing I did today was I made my own batting, and I taught myself one very not batting. I made my own bias tape. And what did I learn? I learned that it's not that expensive and I'm going to buy it from now on because this was not fun. It looks easy. I've watched a million videos on it, but this was my first attempt. And it's just, bias tape is just not that expensive. So I am, from this day forward, not making my own again. So I'm just trimming off those little corners. I did not do a great job. It is not the straightest bias tape in the world at all. So what we are going to do with the bias tape is going to go around these. So I'm going to sew it together here, but I'm going to put it on as trim down here at the bottom. And let me tell you, I am putting it on because I cut it out. So that is going on like that. Then these will make a sandwich and sew around with the little finger holds on. But the first thing we're going to do is go and sew these up with their batting inside and the bias tape, and I will return. Okay, now we have our 2 corners with our bias tape on it. You can see I stitched it on first and then I pulled it around and stitched on top so that it is wrapped around the edge nicely. And like I said, that is the last time I'm making my own bias tape. So next we want to stack it so we can go sew it. And we're going to put our Instatherm down first. And remember, this is has that thermal quality so that it doesn't burn through. You can't just use batting. You have to use something on top of it. This goes face up. Then our finger holds go face down. Nope, that was right the first time. Okay, those go face down. And you have to match up that curve because they're different on the side and the top. And I'm going to overlap it here because when I go in to clip it, you won't really notice it. This piece goes face down. Oh, wrong side. Both sides look so similar. And then our batting piece goes on top. Let me make sure that's right. So that when I turn it inside out, yeah, that should work. Okay, so I'm going to go iron the pieces one more time, sew around the edge, and I'm going to leave an opening about this much because we have to turn it. So let's go get this sewn, and I will be right back. We have everything sewn together. I have left my gap so that I can turn it. But now what we want to do is trim around the edges. And I always make it bigger when I cut it than I actually am going to want it to be at the end, because I know that I'm going to cut some of this off. So we're going to cut around, and when we get here to the middle, I want to cut a little slit, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let's get the rest of this off. Because there are a few places that we're going to have to cut so that the curves will be better. We don't want too much in there. So here we want to cut down just to that V. So much material. I don't want to cut too far. So there we go. Got that. And actually I can cut a little notch out there, because if I leave too much there, it is not going to want to have a pretty point when I cut it, when I flip it. So let's cut some of that bulk out. Now make sure that your curves are indented. So everywhere that I have excess amount of fabric, I just want to go in and, for lack of a better term, fringe it. You know, this is the year of the fringe, they said. It's coming back. And sequins and all kinds of things. And I'm like, good heavens, is it the 80s again? But it's okay, because let's, you know, we've been stuck inside for way too long. So, all right, now I want to flip this inside out. Let me cut the point off here, so that also will turn well. Turn everybody out the opposite direction. That flipped well. Flipped much better than some of my more recent ones. So we just want to push it and press out those curves real well, because we don't want this. That would just be not very pretty. Make sure we get that. Flatten it, flatten it, flatten it, flatten it. Flip our little finger holds to the correct side. And there we have that. So now all I have left to do is close up that little hole. And I could either do it by hand and do a blind stitch, or I can sew all the way around it, and that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to do it on the sewing machine, but I'm going to put an edge all the way around it. Good. Thought something had gone wrong there, and I was not going to be happy. So let's trim this just a hair, so we don't have to deal with it when we're putting it in. And we're folding it. There we go. Now I'm going to fold in and fold in. And go iron that so that it stays in really nicely. You can see it's just barely going to catch, but all I want is just along the edge so that it gives us a finished look. And that will be our pot holder, and I will be right back. Okay, here's our little pot holder. I trimmed all around the edge, sewed all around the edge, and I put our little holy tag up there. Whoops. April really wanted to be up here with us, and I didn't really want her to. So we have a place for our fingers. It is got our Thermobond in it. So if you have hands bigger than mine, it would work better. Or you could use two hands, but I don't see how that would work. But there you go. That is our Valentine's oven mitt. Ta-da! Thank you for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I will not just be doing kitchen because I realized yesterday I'm going to run out of that pretty quickly. I do have some ornaments for my school tree that'll have to go up. I've decided to leave my holiday tree up year-round, so we're going to add some hearts for Valentine's Day, some shamrocks for St. Patrick's Day. We'll get some Easter on there, and that will be coming up, and it'll be both paper, wood, and cloth, so that'll be fun. And I'm going to make some shorts, starting with sleep shorts, because I don't trust myself to wear them out in public yet, especially since I'll be patterning them. So I'm going to show you how to make easy patterns using shorts that already fit you. And hopefully I'll teach you some little ideas along the way that you can use for your own stuff. But thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. If you like what you saw, I would love it if you'd subscribe, hit the like, and share it with your friends. And I will see you next time.